Hey, welcome to Life After My Stroke. Now, I shot a video and uploaded it the other day, but I watched it and I thought, nah, we're going to do a re-edit. Part of the reason that I didn't like the video is because I was really tired, but that was kind of the point. I was going through fatigue, and this happens to me sometimes, and I know a lot of you can relate to it. Every once in a while, I just get tired. I mean, no particular reason, I just get tired. It's not like I have to sleep an extra long time. I'm usually good for 6-7 hours, sometimes only 5. Regardless of how long I sleep, when I wake up, I only have about that much energy. And I can use that energy however I like. I can go to the store, I can go for a drive, I can mow the lawn, I can cook dinner. But I can't do all of those things and still keep myself awake. I'm just so completely exhausted. Those are the times when I'm not afraid to ask people for things, because I'm funny about that. I don't like to ask people to do things for me, but sometimes when I'm tired, I'll ask my daughter, hey, Daddy's thirsty, can you get me a drink? I don't mind doing that thing because I need that energy. If she can get me a drink and bring it to me, that's a little bit of energy that I've saved to do something else, even maybe with her. It sounds strange, but it's a weird phenomenon that happens to me. A lot of people talk about fatigue and depression as one thing. I don't have the depression, but I definitely have the fatigue. And I'll talk about some of that depression stuff a little later on. But one thing that happens that's kind of cool is after this period, I tend to have bursts of energy. Right now, I may be experiencing that. It's a little early to tell. I just kind of gotten over the big fatigue thing. I feel better, and I feel like I'm ready to do things. And maybe what's happening is my body's kind of going into like a standby mode and repairing itself. I don't know. And I don't think anybody knows. If I asked the doctor, they would say something out of a book, but they don't know either, because doctors don't know much. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. Now, I think if you go to the doctor, and I've told my sister this too after she had her accident, if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, you know what you need to do? You need to take this pill, and I think you need to eat this way, and I think you need to exercise that way. I think that's something you should listen to. And I think your doctor is useful in that way. However, when the doctor is giving you a prognosis, I would not listen to that guy if he put a gun to my head, because they're never right. The prognosis that doctors give, or anybody who's a professional with this, is only as accurate as the weather next week, the week-long forecast. It's a guess. That's all it is. They have a really hard time telling you why things happen to you, but they even have a harder time telling you how you're going to be. I've had people tell me, early on, oh yeah, you're going to be blind, that probably won't come back, but you can work on this and that. Well, I'm not blind, I'm walking around, I'm driving a car, I'm living a life. These people wrote me off. That's what they felt was going to happen to me. Gloria Estefan, Gloria Estefan, the singer? She was in that bus accident, I think it was back in the 80s or 90s. They told her she was never going to walk again. The lady dances on stage today. You don't listen to these prognoses they give you. They're doom and gloom. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in this re-edit, and you can tell where the edits are. Now, a lot of people are having a very hard time with depression because they've lost the life that they've had after they've had a stroke or a brain injury or something. And I don't seem to be having those same problems. I kind of feel alone where I just feel positive. And I thought about this a lot. Someone had said to me in one of my last videos, it's cool that you could put these videos up, but you're definitely talking from the perspective of a guy who had his stuff together before his stroke. And, I guess I kind of did. But the other thing I wanted to mention was, and this might sound really weird to some of you, but if having a stroke is the worst thing that ever happened to you, then you're a pretty lucky person. You've had a pretty good life. I mean, the odds are things went real well for you in your life, in your relationships, in your job, and whatever you did. And if this is the thing that's just the worst thing, then you know what, you're a lucky individual, because I will just kind of go out on a limb here and let you guys know that this is not the worst thing that ever happened in my life. I've struggled with things that in my mind were much greater than this and stressed me out more and bummed me out more and affected me more here than this stroke. I refer to some of these years as the baby mama years. You can fill in the blanks on that, but that was tough stuff. And when it was happening to me, I remember thinking to myself, I mean, the anguish that I felt and just the complete just emptiness I felt. I thought, nothing can be worse than this. Nothing can be worse than this. And then after, I had to completely rebuild my life. Credit, house, job, friends, everything. You name it. I still say to myself, yeah, it didn't get any worse than that. After my stroke, I still say, yeah, it didn't get any worse than that. That was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I guess it, in one way, kind of karma prepared me for this. And now, I guess what I want to do, part of what I want to do, is try to help those who weren't there. And I don't know how much I can help. I mean, I do the videos, and I'll participate somewhat on the Facebook page. I want everyone to do their best. I want them to feel their best. And I know it's hard to be positive sometimes. And I have gotten down. But I've gotten back up again. What you get back and what you don't get back is what you get back and what you don't get back. And let's say, just let's say that 20 years from now, it's going to be like it never happened physically to you. Everything will come back. Let's just pretend that's the case. You still have 20 years to live a life. So you got to live it. So please live that life. That's it for this time. Please try to stay positive. I want to be anybody's friend who wants to be my friend. Hit me up on Facebook. Talk to me. I love talking to people who have had this experience as well. And I'm here for you. So we'll talk to you. Thanks for watching.